Adam will never grow. He will never change. If anything, if he does change, it will certainly be for the worst.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Chibi Horrorcow is a 35-year-old man from Michigan. During this documentary, I'll be referring to him solely as Chibi. To the masses, Chibi gained his fame in one of the most notorious internet memes of the mid-2010s. But his history of internet infamy doesn't start there. Chibi's story is far broader and more interesting than most realize. And unlike most other Lolcows, Chibi has very little troll interference in his life, making him one of the few remaining natural Lolcows out there. By himself, Chibi has managed to get kicked out of therapy, have his co-workers join his Kiwi forums, and share all of his most embarrassing moments. He's even sending illicit, unwanted photographs to unsuspecting Discord users. And I must say this, don't go trying to seek out Chibi. He loves attention. He's been known to quickly attach to people and refuse to leave them alone. And what he may send you, I don't think you want in your life. So let's begin at some of the earliest known history of Chibi. His entire teenage life, Chibi fell in love with the growing trend on YouTube, the rise of Let's Plays, particularly people who focused on Nintendo games, and Chibi, as an avid Nintendo fan, decided to give it a shot himself, having his mom buy him a Dazzle card, and soon enough, he began doing Let's Plays himself. Most of the Let's Plays have been lost to history, but Chibi must have gained a large enough following to catch the attention of one of the biggest YouTubers doing Let's Plays, Nintendo Capri Sun.
Oh, I know something that broke through something earlier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this feels weird.
And what do you know? Folks, I'm already dead.
And I'm small. And, I'll just wait for you to get back.
Ice Brothers are not my friend.
Stinkin' stupid, stinkin' stupid. Or do they say you can't be
pepperoni and cock sandwich.
Oh, I should have used a mushroom, I guess. Then we could get 3 in return instead of losing these lives. Oh, man.
Dude, he's been farting like a freaking racehorse all day.
I've never... I don't think in my life I've ever farted this
Ever since I introduced him to baby spinach.
Yeah, like I put some on a turkey sandwich.
His colon's been
like,
cleaner
wow. Just pooping up a storm.
Yeah.
It's pooping up a storm. So guys, this morning, for the first time, I had some of that Weight Watchers oatmeal. Or that weight control oatmeal that Quaker makes.
Oh, yeah.
But somebody on the internet said that it was really gross, so I was like, not expecting much. And to be honest, it didn't taste too bad.
Derailed conversation!
It tasted like oatmeal mixed with meat.
What?
Like, I don't know, if it was possible to extract the flavor of meat into a juice, it kind of tasted like there was... Because I know there was protein in it, so I don't know.
I could tell you how meat tastes like in a juice, but it'd probably not be appropriate.
Dude! Man, that's it. Get out of my house.
Oh, come on! Of course not.
No care about my feelings.
This relationship is over!
I'm not sure how their friendship started. Most assume Nintendo Capri Sun left a comment or a message, and Chibi quickly attached himself to it and refused to let go. But playing games together isn't the only thing Chibi and Nintendo Capri Sun did. Apparently, they were good enough friends for Nintendo Capri Sun to pay for Chibi a flight to his house and spend a few nights, and it seems like they were having a decent time. But it wasn't long until Nintendo Capri Sun was given some unfortunate news about his friend Chibi. You see, Let's Plays wasn't the only thing that Chibi was doing in his free time on the internet. He was engaged in 2 separate relationships with minors. He even made multiple Facebook posts detailing the drama that ensued. One of the more telling posts made by Chibi is that his father was furious at him for his actions, but he still couldn't figure out why. So he decided his best solution was to pretend he was going to Minecraft himself into another world if he wasn't left alone. To nobody's surprise, these were just ploys to get his parents and the internet to back off and let him proceed with his nefarious affairs.
19 or 20 years old and I was dating people that were 16. Yeah, it's all it's wrong and I should not have done it. Did I know better at the time? No.
He claims he was just 20. He's lied about fucking everything else. Why would he be truthful about his age at the time? He claims he was just 20. Which, if that was true, you're still in your 20s and a 16-year-old girl. And him saying, I didn't know better at the time, you were in your 20s, Adam. Someone mentioned last year that he got catfished by someone he thought was 19, but was actually 16. But he was in his 30s at the time. And it's like, neither of those ages is even remotely appropriate for someone his age.
So, first off, I know this shit's wrong, and I've moved on personally, but because of what's happened and because of how people interpret the situation differently, it's going to follow me, and it's probably going to follow me to my grave. I mean, that kind of thing is extremely frowned upon, especially in today's society, and for very good reason. And doing something like that in today's day and age is considered a massive red flag and not something that's easily forgotten or swept under the rug. And it doesn't matter how many years will pass. So, to answer your question, in short, I hope to one day, I obviously people won't ever forget what happened, and it's basically much like every other wrong that I've committed, but I can at least acknowledge that that is not the person that I am anymore. I mean, it's fairly well known now that, and we already answered that earlier, that I used to date people under 18 when I was 19 or 20 years old. And I didn't think it was a problem back then because the age of consent in our state is 16 years. And all of my in-person sexual interactions have been consensual. But this still follows me to this day and gives people pause and the wrong idea about me almost all of the time. And given how much other things have happened with me, it's not really surprising that people want to keep their distance. And out of a lesser regret, I do regret not being more patient when it comes to trying to fit in and make friends and seeking validation right away by going to extremes.
Was there sexual contact with people who were under the age of 18 during this time, when you were like 19 or 20?
Yes, there were.
Okay. I figured while the iron is hot, might as well ask that question, because I'm sure a lot of people in the chat were kind of thinking the same thing I did. It was like, wait a minute, hold on.
But I can at least confirm that the anything that I've ever done was always with consent. I've never ever done something without consent, especially in person. That is something that is a rigid standard that I hold myself to, and I hold myself accountable for that.
It was later uncovered that this was only the tip of the iceberg, because apparently there were several other younger people involved with Chibi around this time. One of them ended up posting their allegations to Kiwi Farms. In the messages you can see that Chibi is trying to talk to a young girl out of her relationship. They spent months talking about cosplay, playing Mario Party, all the activities you would expect from Chibi. But after a while, Chibi started to grow more and more interested in her. Chibi began texting her multiple times a day, most of the time simple highs and hellos, but when the girl wouldn't show him attention, he would quickly go into one of his pity parties. You see, when Chibi isn't receiving the attention he feels he deserves, he'll begin to trauma dump to whoever he is talking to, typically complaining about how nobody likes him and how he wishes people would give him a chance. Even though he's talking to someone, and the last thing they probably want to hear about is someone's easy to solve problems. And let's not forget, Chibi is a grown man around 25 at the time he's sending these messages, and he's trying to get advice from a 17-year-old girl while being creepy. The forum user also alleges that Chibi sent her messages on Skype, and what could have innocent Chibi told this girl? After the girl had taken longer than 5 minutes to message, Chibi back, he became furious, thinking she was going to abandon him like all his other friends have in the past. So Chibi told her he was planning on coming to the hotel she was currently staying at, ask for a key, and come to her room. The threats must have been viable enough for the girl's family to keep her on a buddy system for the rest of the year. Chibi's creepy nature is often swept under the rug, as most see him as a cringe guy who's harmless. But not even a year ago, Chibi was still trying similar things, so nobody can blame Nintendo Capri's son. He did the right thing and cut all ties with what he thought was just a goofy, weird friend.
On that night, I was under the impression that my friend and I were actually on a date together, since she had been messaging me about how she was being abused and lied to by the person that she was currently with. We had talked like a night or two before on Instagram Messenger, and she was basically venting to me about how awful this person was, and I told her, if this person's so awful, why are you still with him? I mean, just, sometimes you just have to put your foot down, say enough's enough. And I think a day or so later, I convinced her to tell him how she really felt. And she had actually told me that she had broke things off, just ended up showing up anyway. And then when he got there, she basically told me, do you mind if he takes me home instead? So not only did she lie to me, but she also made me feel like crap because I was under the impression that it was just going to be us there tonight. And she wanted him now to take her home. So it was just like, all right, so where does that leave me? I'm just third wheeling over here. So at that point, I felt really betrayed and lied to, and essentially just kind of left right then and there. And eventually I made it back, and then I immediately left for home. But what I didn't realize is I think she must have stored a bunch of her stuff. I think like a makeup bag or something. I don't know exactly what was in it, but she left something in my glove box. And a couple days later, she wrote me saying that she left her stuff in there. And I think a couple days after that, I met her, and I think I also left some stuff with her too. So I think she gave me, I think it was like my cosplay makeup or something, and then I gave her her bag.
So this person says, I believed he was a nice person, and time again, he'd say that he was rejected by other girls, that everyone treated him poorly. We went to Necto together once. Necto is a nightclub in Detroit. All while we knew we were going as friends. I told him several times before we went to hang out. The guy I was seeing at the time showed up to Necto, and Adam legit left the nightclub immediately with all my belongings in his car he drove. He refused to give me my wallet back until I spoke to him about that night, saying I treated him just as badly as the girls he's tried to get with, and that I'm the worst one. I felt so deeply uncomfortable and disgusted by him after this, and truly believed what everyone else has said about him. He told me all these horror stories about what he went through, but after how he treated me, knowing I didn't do anything wrong, and that he wouldn't give me my belongings back, I don't know, I would just feel safe if he wasn't allowed at Colossal Con.
After his fallout with Nintendo Capri's son, Chibi needed someone else to attach to and tell all of his problems to. This is where he met Big Al. On one fateful day in college, Big Al decided to make possibly the worst decision of his entire life. He sees a lone Chibi drawing by himself. Feeling bad for the guy, he decides to walk up and see what the cheapster was drawing. It turns out it was a YouTube poop Chibi had saw earlier in the morning, and somehow this blossomed into the best friendship Chibi has ever had. Chibi's father, Dick White, passed away at a relatively young age. This left Chibi heartbroken. Big Al was trying to distance himself at the time, but felt an urge to rekindle his friendship with Chibi to try and console him during a hard time in his life. Going to the funeral, multiple of Chibi's family members hugged and thanked Al for being the one true friend Chibi has ever had. Big Al was ignited with a new urge to be Chibi's friend and really try and change his life. But just about as quickly as that feeling came, it went, when during the funeral, Chibi proceeded to take a stand and sing an anime song with an anime music video playing on a projector in the background. As tasteless and cringeworthy as you could imagine this being, It gets so much worse when you realize one of Dick White's final wishes to Chibi was to quit playing Nintendo games and watching anime and go get a life so he didn't put so much stress on his mother. Needless to say, that would never happen.
At his dad's funeral, above his dad's corpse, with his dad's corpse in the room, he sang a fucking anime song as his tribute to his dad. Of all the cringy shit that Adam has done, you would think he would deny that. You would think that he would absolutely swear up and down, no, Big Al's fucking lying. He's lying through his teeth. I never would do that. In fact, every person that I've told that story to told me, you're full of shit, Al. That didn't happen. But it did, and Adam confirmed it. When his dad died, I went to the funeral, and his stepmom, pulled me aside and said, listen, he doesn't really have anybody. You are his only friend. You are the best friend that he's ever had. Please, look after him, take care of him, right? And I made a promise to his stepmom that I would. Spending all that time trying to do Adam right, and then seeing him pull this shit, it's fucking infuriating.
Did you actually sing an anime music video song at your dad's funeral?
So a lot of people say that I did. I did not actually sing it at my dad's funeral. So what happened was I made a video of myself basically karaoke singing a song. It was from an anime called Kanon, Kanon. And the name of the song is called Last Regrets. It is the opening song to that anime. It is a very sad song. And I set it up that had basically a black background, and I had the lyrics pop in on screen every now and then. Basically what it was part me singing the song and part a sort of a slideshow of pictures and memories taken from my dad's life. But I did not actually sing in person at either the funeral home or the funeral itself. I had that video and I showed it to his friends and loved ones at the funeral home itself.
After the funeral was over, Big Al drove off and on occasion tried to assist Chibi with jobs, extra money, and even a place to stay when Chibi was having trouble with his mom. But Chibi's refusal to stop being creepy, attaching to random e-girls, left Al no choice but to cut all ties with his former best friend. But this isn't the end of Al and Chibi's story. Chibi is going to make it far, far worse, just like he does with everything else.
I'm probably the closest friend Adam has ever had. One of my biggest regrets is being your friend. Especially seeing the shit that you keep doing. And the sad thing is, if you just kept it in your pants for once in your fucking life, like me and all of your other friends at the time tried telling you, the worst thing you would be known for is being a shitty speedrunner who cheats. Like I said in my post, when he needed a ride, I gave him a ride. When he needed money, I gave him money and expected none in return. If he was hungry, I fed him and bought him food. If he needed a place to crash, my door was open. I got in trouble for it plenty of times. But he's a friend, and you help you help your friends who are in need. I even offered him a job at the kitchen that I worked in at the time. Red flags were popping up from my boss. I even drove him out of my way to a job interview to a city that was an hour away from where I lived. And again, I didn't ask for gas money. I didn't ask for compensation. I did it out of the goodness of my heart because, hey, he was my friend. That's when I learned about that from Mr. Medicare's stream about Adam. That was the one where somebody called Adam's house to tell his mom that he was a 16-year-old girl and sending pictures of his to her. And at first he denied it, but then he said, yeah, I did it, because he's an idiot. That when I found out about that, I decided I'm done with him. you know, what the and then I started spreading stories that only I would know about him.
I hope a random fat guy doesn't come and attack me for no apparent reason. Oh, you're grabbing my nuts? You're grabbing my nuts. No homo!
And don't think Chibi was just able to ruin multiple friendships. He has a history of ruining just about everything he touches. One such event was a video he posted of him cosplaying as Elle. The footage is lost to time, but in the background you see what he looked like. This was to announce a Death Note anime convention. People had already told Chibi to keep his mouth shut about it, but he refused to listen, and the damage was already done. The entire event was doxxed, and multiple participants began to get messed with online.
OsakaCon was a convention that was being planned with you and your friends, but has been canned due to an apparent video you made in your youth involving an Elle cosplay and some admittedly cringe acting. Is there regret to this day involving this incident?
Okay, first off, admittedly cringe? No. It would be completely cringe. Make sure you get that right. Second, I mean, not too many people know that one. That's like going like super meta, like that's going like super like back in the day. Like if you're like a vintage watcher or a vintage I don't know what would you say for that? Whatever. I was thinking of a word, I couldn't think of it. But yeah, absolutely. I would say those were definitely my cringiest years, to be honest, because I was still finding out a lot about myself and trying to find my place. Why I decided to shoot that video with a poorly styled L wig, marker on my eyes, and wearing pajama pants while in my basement was anyone's guess. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea what went through my mind when I posted that. I cannot even attribute that to any of the above issues that I have listed. That was just really stupid, cringe behavior that I just could have avoided entirely had I thought for 1 second longer.
This was nothing new to Chibi. He had already had his fair share of internet scrutiny, but that was all okay. He had protection against these kind of problems. Like Chris Chan has his medallion, World of T-Shirts has his hat. Chibi once had a dog collar given to him by his grandfather, but I don't think I can do it justice explaining it to you. I'll let Chibi handle this one.
Alright. There's been an issue that's been brought to my attention recently, and a lot of people have asked me this, and I'm just getting really, really sick and tired of hearing it. Why do you wear a dog collar? Well, if you're thinking I belong to somebody, that I'm somebody's slave, no, I'm not. The reason why I wear it is because I like to wear it. That's it. I tell you the other reason, the real reason why I like to wear it, but seeing as though you guys are so misunderstanding, I don't know if I could tell you guys. Because the real reason why I wear it transcends all that you might understand. And if you guys don't believe me, or if you guys think I'm an idiot, you know what, just go ahead and push the unsubscribe button. But here's the real reason. Now, the story behind this pendant right here, my grandfather got it for me a few years ago when we were down in Florida. I've treasured it ever since. And I realized that whenever I took this off, I felt really faint. And I usually would lose consciousness. This happened every time I took this off. So That is why I did this. This right here is not an actual collar. It is something off of a trench coat. But that's the closest thing that I could find that I can wear. But the real reason why I always have this on and I never take it off is because of that. It's pretty much the source of my power. It's the source of my energy.
So now we're where it all started. To many people, this is where their knowledge of Chibi begins and ends, the infamous SGDQ Tomba 2 run. But the embarrassment doesn't begin here. Earlier in the week, Chibi was live streaming, gleefully telling his small following that he was going to SGDQ, but he was nervous. Not about the flight there, been away from his mom who coddles him to this day. It was because he knew it was time for him to be a man. He had a crush on another speedrunner named Kazooie, and Chibi was going to profess his love for her once and for all. There was just one big problem. Chibi was scared to death to do this, and Kazooie also had many other speedrunners trying to catch her attention.
I have a crush on Kazooie. And I am hoping to ask her out at SGDQ on a date. My face is very red now. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit, what'd I do? What'd I say? Why'd I do that? Why'd I say that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? Stupid. Really stupid of me. Strata, please. Strata, please. Shit. Nope. I really did not want to say it out loud.
So Chibi arrives at the SGDQ and his mission begins. He sets out to find all of the parties, and by Al's account, begged every person he knew to let them into their party because it was his birthday and many people relented. But Chibi wasn't done begging, since at the time SGDQ was a smaller event and had a birthday rule, where if it was your birthday during the event, you could sit on a few couches during the runs. A nice gesture, but they underestimated Chibi's ability to, well, Chibi. And I also think this rule has been revoked after the "I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet" moment, so I don't think this one exists anymore. But what many people don't know, Chibi was also on the Bubsy the Cat run, where he was also cringeworthy, but this run fell into obscurity after Chibi showed the world his true abilities as a lolcow.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I thought you said you didn't know. Okay, I thought you said you didn't know what it's from. Yeah, okay. Yeah, instead of...
Dude, this game is like full of puns.
Yeah. The aliens have come down to take the yarn from everybody, I guess.
He's pretty sure Bubsy's faster than Sonic.
Can we get a race? Can we set up a race?
Oh, definitely. SRL?
Like a new donation incentive? Yeah.
And so you want to slow down here on these goals.
Called Woolies.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're in the theme park area. It's pretty chill.
By Caveman's account, as soon as he saw Chibi approaching the couch, he instantly hated him. And it didn't help matters that Caveman is a very odd person to say the least in his own right, and combining Chibi into the equation only could equal bad. Most people don't realize Chibi and Caveman were sitting together for around an hour before the "I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet" moment had taken place, and it was filled with Chibi grinding every single nerve down Caveman had. Chibi was even getting on the other couch guest nerves, talking during critical moments and making offhanded remarks that really shouldn't have happened since Chibi knew nothing of the game and truly had no business been there. After Caveman told Chibi to be quiet, they sit there for almost another hour longer as Chibi tried to figure out what to do. Honestly, it would have looked bad, but someone should have escorted him out of there. It could have saved them some face, because Chibi unknowingly at the time set the reputation for Games Done Quick events as super cringe fest. This was like the very beginning of it.
What would you say you're best known for?
So, being brutally honest, I'm known for a lot of infamous reasons most people probably already know. And the most well-known, definitely being the "I'd really prefer if you would be quiet" guy. In fact, I still hear that line almost 10 years to this day.
Evil swine have returned. Oh, that's a good start.
Well, I mean, it's more a plot than Bubsy has.
So, alright, good. What I'm doing, not dressed for the occasion.
I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
Neither.
I recommend all viewers to go get a nice cup of joe, perhaps a bagel.
Dude, I love bagels.
Just sit back and enjoy some breakfast tomba.
Asiago cheese bagel? Yummy.
I believe you.
The character design of this game kind of reminds me of Adventure Island.
Alright. So there goes the crab basket. We need to get the crab basket to get crabs.
So this is the case where getting crabs is a good thing?
Yeah.
My name is Tomba the Mighty.
He doesn't actually talk, though, so he would never say that in any
He
situation.
makes grunts. That's kind of like talking.
He could pretend he does.
I have fast pants.
We get turbo pants later.
Now you're just making me excited.
Yeah, I don't think you're ready for that.
I don't think I am. I think I need some time to prepare my body.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
From what I understand, his name was Chibi, which is an excellent name for a man. I told him to be quiet because he was a and I didn't ask for him to be on the couch, and he just invited himself on, and sat shoulder length to me so I couldn't move my elbows, and just would not shut the fuck up. Did anyone see him actually doing those jumping jacks? Like, Jesus Christ, at least do good proper jumping jacks.
But I'll donate another $10 if Green Hoodie Guy does 10 jumping jacks.
Alright, so this is like the coolest part of the game in my opinion. Like, time is frozen, so this is just pretty much the point of no return. Like, the first thing you see, alright, well we got this going on, first of all.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Great job, guy I don't know.
Thanks, guys. You just gave me my exercise for the week.
Chibi wants to fight me IRL? I don't think he wants to do that. He was on the couch from Bubsy till Spyro 2. Like, that was just his time. Nope, I didn't flip him off, I didn't suplex him, I didn't do anything. I just wanted him to leave me alone after the stream. He didn't get it, like, he tried to approach me like 3 more times. Like, get out of here, guy, what are you doing? They called Chibi that guy. Chibi was that guy. Am I really a meme? Have I attained meme status? Stash bro. Way back in the day, I was thinking about stash cam, just like exclusive mustache cam, but I couldn't get it to set up right.
But this wouldn't be the end of Chibi's awkward night. Afterwards, Chibi knew this was going to be the moment that he can never live down. But in the birthday spirit, he was able to put that to the side of his head, as his true goals of the event began to take place. You see, as previously mentioned, Chibi was trying to get with Kazooie. He even brought protection in case he was successful, and Chibi knew which party she was at, so he proceeded to go to the party, and to avoid thinking about his building nerves and not so spectacular events from the morning before, Chibi began to drink heavily, to the point he was loudly challenging random speedrunners to wrestle him for Kazooie's love, which a few speedrunners gladly accepted his offer. They wanted that Kazooie love too. Which led to Chibi getting embarrassed in the middle of the party, getting pinned multiple times, and to make it even worse, while Chibi was wrestling for Kazooie's love, he didn't realize she snuck out with some other guy. In fact, he thought he just lost her. So the next evening, a hungover Chibi had to think of a new plan to get his love from Kazooie. So he bought some sort of expensive gift and promised to give it to her, on stream of all places, before they left to go home. Chibi was shocked when Kazooie came on stream with the guy she ran off with the night previously. So not only did Chibi manage to cement himself in Lolcow history, but the girl he came to the event for ended up snuggling up to some other guy, which you can see Chibi literally convulsing on the inside. After Chibi's infamous moment, he blew up in internet fame, well, to an extent. There was a small but dedicated group of people who knew they found a gold mine in Chibi. They began testing the waters to see if they could find anything about him. Unsurprisingly, they found Chibi had left a plethora of personal info scattered across the internet, leading to him and his mom, mainly his mom, to deal with all of the incoming trolling.
Hold on, let me just do this one. You need to, like, not do super bad.
Give me just a second. What?
You need to get off of it. 2 people now showed up. Passport Pizza and Fred's. You need to shut this down. They see that you're on there. These kids see that you're on there, and they're pulling the same shit again.
Okay, so...
Do you see... Is there any way you can contact Facebook and tell them to block this bullshit?
No, there isn't.
Well, there's gotta be. There's gotta be a way to get on... to call Google, Facebook, something, email them, whatever, and tell them that they put your name and phone number on there, and you need somehow to block it. We're gonna lose our phone number because of this. Because I asked them, I said, what number did they call from? And they said they called from this number. Thank God Dad isn't here. Because now I hear the phone beeping up there like someone's been calling in here too. So I can just hardly wait. He was pissed. The guy from Passport was really pissed. You know what? You're gonna have to call that policeman back again. That phone number on that card he gave you, and tell him that they're doing it again to you.
Oh dear. What's happening?
I gotta go.
Alrighty, dude.
Because, people are... Yeah, people just...
Yeah, I understand.
We'll
talk about it after.
As soon as I went live, I guess they started ordering pizzas, and like 2 or 3 pizza places have now tried delivering pizzas to us.
Dude, that sucks.
So it got a little bit worse than it did before.
Oh shit, dude. That's pretty serious. We'll talk about it like after.
Yeah.
What you gotta do, dude, I understand. We'll try this again like another time.
Yeah.
Is Melody still here?
Oh.
Alright, what you gotta do, dude.
Sorry, guys.
We can just end the race. We don't have to, like, complete it.
Yeah. Dow Dimmadome?
Yep.
Now Domino's Pizza's coming.
Great lie there.
Alright.
Well, don't you feel foolish.
As you can see, no matter what is happening to his mom, as long as it doesn't affect Chibi's ability to play Mario, it doesn't really matter to him. He doesn't try to take the time to call the pizza shops to inform them not to deliver. He lets his elderly mom, who thinks Chibi, of all people, can personally call Google and get this all to stop. Chibi may be Chibi, but there was room to make this situation better. But he does what he does best. Let this all play out on live stream, let it all build up and explode in his face later on. And really, this wasn't anything special. One of the more infamous moments was when Chibi's mom interrupted his gameplay session to inform Chibi it doesn't matter how good the game is, his bed sheets aren't a toilet. You would think any person with a hint of shame would realize they need to mute their mic, get off stream, and change their life. But he proceeded to play on as if nothing had happened. It's kind of a pattern in his cycle to get embarrassed playing a game and just go on as if nothing has ever happened, let his pity party out, hope people sympathize with him. When they don't, he goes into hiding. That's basically the TLDR of Chibi's cycle.
It's not happening. Why do you keep insisting on it? I'm so sick of going over and over this shit with you.
So am I.
Then why aren't you listening to me?
Because I have a life to live, and I'm living it.
No, I'm gonna unplug it if you get a smart mouth on you. Don't give me that crap.
I'm not giving you any crap at all.
Yeah, you are. I told you, this isn't happening all night long.
It's not all night long.
What?
It's not all night long. It's not even close.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I don't see
Dad made me promise, told me to make sure this wasn't happening all hours of the night.
It
And
is.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. 3 o'clock in the morning is all hours of the night.
Okay. Not the worst, but not the best.
Are you swearing down here? What the F? This is gonna go off. It is, 1 o'clock. I want it off very soon.
Well, it won't be off until about another 2 hours from now, because I'm in the middle of a speed run.
You're starting this shit again, Adam. We talked about this crap. You've been at it all night long.
It's only 1 o'clock. And this is the weekend.
I don't care.
Of course you don't. You don't care about anything.
No, I don't care. Okay? We talked about this shit, about you being at it all night long.
I'm not being on it
I
all
don't
night
care if it's a
long.
weekend or not. It doesn't matter. Every day runs together for you.
No, actually it doesn't.
Adam, why do you have to put me in these situations and these predicaments?
You're the one putting me in the
No.
predicament.
Yeah, I am. And I'm gonna unplug this in about 2 seconds. You know what? Your counselor told me, quit threatening these kids. Just go ahead and do it. I threaten it. You don't think that I'm really going to do it, and I will. I told you I want your sheets changed today.
They weren't dirty.
Now they're getting yellow. You got food in your sheets. I'm telling you, Adam, I'm going to plug this. I swear I am. I'm going to plug the whole... Right now, compromiser, I'm unplugging it.
2 hours is all I can give you.
3 o'clock in the morning is not acceptable. That's too late. You're down here too long doing this crap. I mean it. I'm unplugging it. Give me a compromise.
That's the best I can compromise. To guarantee that once the speedrun's over, I'm done streaming.
And what's gonna stop you from doing it tomorrow night, or the next night, or the next night?
Because I have work on Sunday, number one.
Oh, then that's gonna stop you. If you have work at 3 o'clock, that's gonna stop you from being on it all night, tomorrow night?
Yeah, it will.
Adam, this isn't happening every night. I'm getting really tired of this. You promised me you were gonna that things were gonna be different around here.
You're the one making a big deal out of 3 a.m.
You know, you for a couple of days, you know, then they get better, and then all of a sudden goes back to the same old shit again.
This isn't even anywhere close to the same old shit.
I'm unplugging this.
I'm gonna go as fast as I can, but I can't make any guarantees. I already pay for the internet. And yeah, I could offer to pay the electricity bill. Oh boy, here she comes again.
Not only was Chibi getting embarrassed by his own mom on stream, he was doing a pretty good job of it himself. Chibi, not being the best speedrunner, was really eating at him mentally, knowing that if he could get to the #1 spot of a game, that he would gain the recognition and no longer be the "I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet" guy. So he would begin trying to test to see if he could get away with implementing cheats into his gameplay, hoping that the viewers wouldn't catch on. Something Chibi should have really thought about is that most of the people in speedrunner chats tend to speedrun that game. So in the middle of his run, Chibi managed to get a frame-perfect trick that's almost impossible, causing another speedrunner to investigate this situation. This sent Chibi into a meltdown, knowing that his entire credibility as a speedrunner would be ruined. He quickly admitted to cheating, but claimed that this was only a test run, even though that was never mentioned before, and he was seeming to take the run serious beforehand. And as you all know, if Chibi didn't get caught and received a time that landed him on the speedrunning leaderboards, he would have accepted it no problem. I mean, he was an hour behind anyhow, so this just makes the situation even more ridiculous. He had no chance of getting a good time, but still got caught cheating and ruined his reputation. The only real success Chibi has ever had with speedrunning was taking claim to a world record in the Untitled Goose Game. I'm sure you guys were surprised to hear that. I know I was during my research for this video. But it'll make more sense when you realize that Chibi was one of the first 10 or so runners of Untitled Goose Game. He held the title for a short amount of time, not long at all, until his time was beaten by over 30 seconds, which is a lot for speedruns. For his single most cherished accomplishment in speedrunning, you would think that Chibi would try his hardest to regain his throne, but he wasn't willing to put in the work to make it happen, and to this day, the Untitled Goose Game is one of the more popular speedruns in the SGDQ and AGDQs, and still has a decent amount of people watching on Twitch to this day. The dream that was always so far away from him was actually right in his face, and due to laziness, it passed him by.
Alright, here we are. I like that jump! No way. No way. Alright, here we are. I like that jump! One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8.
The cheating incident, which was me trying to gain other people's approval and acceptance by forcing my way into a community and trying to be good at a game I was clearly not good at.
I was trying to attempt a frame perfect trick and got called out because I was using a levitation hack, and then after that I tried to cover it up by saying, oh, I didn't want to mess it up, so that's why I did the cheat, which, even if that were true, even if I did pull it off the first time successfully and I cheated the second time, that's absolutely zero justification for doing it in the first place. And that is probably the #1 reason why I am very much disliked in the speedrunning community, because of that event. The main underlying reason why I did that, and again, I am not justifying this by any means, is I just kind of wanted to feel like I was, I really, really loved the game. I loved the 1,000 Year Door. I loved that game to death. And honestly, the community is absolutely amazing. Like, the things that they have done for that game
After this controversy, Chibi was needing to find a new game to speedrun because the Paper Mario community had ousted him after trying many different games that always led to him melting down over people not assisting him. He finally found a home in the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunning community, a game with very few active players and a person who has held the world record for years. That person's name is Shift. It's just not a place to achieve what Chibi wants, a world record that'll make him one of the more popular streamers. But nonetheless, Chibi was not going to stop until he is at least top 3 in the community. This would cause Chibi to beg people in the SpongeBob Discord to help him play their game, but little did Chibi know, the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Discord was infiltrated by trolls, so he would get messed with the majority of the time, and the only thing he ever really accomplished in that community was to be a hassle to anyone seriously running the game.
On the run, by the way, flips are flippin' fun.
If you come into this chat one more time, I am actually going to ban you from this Discord.
I play Army Men games. Do a flip. You got this. I believe in you.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Oh, you're playing SpongeBob. Never mind. I'm sorry. Do a sick flip by the end of 2016, and you'll get a world record.
Oh.
Do a flip.
Okay.
It'll be epic.
Please stop.
Get a world record.
Oh.
Do a flip.
Okay.
It'll be epic.
Please stop.
I love Army Men.
Please.
Games.
Please, really, just stop. Wow, I don't know what to say about that. That was incredibly stupid.
I don't know what's going on with my Discord. It's completely bugged. I don't get it.
Okay. So, any idea what I'm doing wrong here? Jesus Christ, was that really that hard? That's it, I'm taking this game out and breaking it in half. I'm fucking done.
I remember that a while ago. He was playing the game and a lot of people couldn't stand him or something. Or like they found the clip of him like cheating in TTYD. I can't remember what that was about, but that was a long time ago, dude. That was like 6 or 7 years ago. I think the deal with that was like, if I remember correctly, the game was about to be on GDQ, and there were some people who thought that it would like give the game a bad reputation if like he was running it or something. It was just like stupid. I mean, like, to be fair, at that time, like he was actually like trying to like stop like being that way and getting involved in like weird shit. But I think he just like recently fucked up again like within the last year, so I guess that's all out the window. Like, I don't know. I don't care about drama anymore. I'm tired.
This caused him to be ostracized by the community and really most other popular speedrunning games, and the cheating didn't help. This crushed his confidence, but not his dreams. Even though Chibi has managed to hold a world record before and befriend some of the biggest Let's Players, Chibi felt he needed to learn how to stream again, so he decided he would start paying an online streaming coach around $100 a month to critique his streams. The streaming coach found Chibi the most difficult customer she had ever worked for, claiming Chibi would spend most of the session complaining about his life and basically turning his Twitch streaming coach into a makeshift therapist. Slowly, the coach began missing more and more appearances. Chibi would still pay her on time every month, even paying her when he decided to take a 9-month break from streaming. However, when he was making a comeback, he wanted to continue the sessions that he never stopped paying for, before his manager cut all contacts altogether, pocketing about $1,000 of Chibi's money, and never spoke to him again. After this, Chibi has only made minor attempts to break back into speedrunning, but that normally consists of him playing weird categories that almost nobody else runs or watches, for games such as Mario Golf or Kingdom Hearts, and the categories he plays takes hours to complete a single run. I'm talking like 12 straight hours of pure gameplay. So he gains little skill or improvement since 99% of the runs end in a reset anyways. But this does little to stop him from trying and begging people in Discords to help him out again and again. Just another trait of Chibi's.
Hope you guys are lovely. I'm scared out of my wits because I know what's gonna happen, and I might as well just come forward and address the elephant in the room. I have not streamed for the better half of 6-7 months, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. And coming to the decision to stream today took a lot of guts, because I know exactly what doing this would cause, and I know what's probably, or not probably, what definitely is going to happen. There will be an attack tonight. I guarantee there will be an attack tonight. People will be in here. They will try to spread hate. They will try to spread depravity in the chat however they can. And I have to call upon all of my strength to not let it bother me anymore. I've had a very messed up past, and I acknowledge that. It's always going to stick with me no matter what I do, where I go, where I advance in my career, and that's fine. I'm not gonna run away from it anymore. That's why I'm doing this today. I'm confronting everything head on. I'm facing my worst fears, my inner demons, whatever you want to call it, and I'm finally going to put everything to rest.
Chibi once even tried to have his own speedrunning marathon. He was sad that if he showed his face at a game's done quick, he'd be quickly ostracized like normal and be left all by himself, enjoying other people's speedrunning, which for Chibi is a big no-no. He wants to be the center of attention at all times. So running a speedrunning charity would be easy. He speedruns and isn't afraid to lose money. Little did Chibi know, getting multiple speedrunners together and asking them to behave isn't the easiest thing to do, especially when you carry about as much respect as Chibi does in that community. Virtually none. The stream would immediately get off to a bad start from audio problems, runners being late, and a plethora of other problems. But that wouldn't be anywhere close to the biggest deal they faced after what Chibi had did. While trying to fix some issues on the stream, he accidentally leaked the stream passcode, allowing random viewers to take control over. And with the comments being filled with Chibi's trolls, they quickly seized the opportunity and began streaming X-rated content for almost an hour, while being promoted on the front page of Twitch. Actually, that sounds about normal. When Chibi gained control back, unlike most people who would have gave up, Chibi pushed forward and raised very little for charity and somehow didn't catch the hammer from Twitch, but he was happy with the outcome. But his happiness wouldn't last long. In just a few short weeks, Chibi was upset at the lack of growth he received, so he had to cook up another plan. Taking inspiration from OnlyFans models of all people, Chibi decided to drop a nude video of himself. He would pretend a troll found the video and posted it, but his plan was revealed when Chibi made a lost Twitter post linking a site said to contain his nudes, only for the link to direct people to his Twitch. And even though Chibi was pulling out some of the most desperate tactics I have ever heard of, he had no idea what true attention was. Not until PewDiePie would react to Chibi in the infamous "I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet" clip. PewDiePie's reaction would end up having more views than the initial clip itself, sending Chibi into a panic, leaving multiple posts on PewDiePie's video, claiming that any future problems he receives will be PewDiePie's fault, not realizing that he just fed all of the trolls who were actively messing with him a huge amount of ammo. Trolls begin to call Chibi, claiming that they were the bros, something PewDiePie used to call his fans. He might even still do it. And they were going to finish what their leader started. And still to this day, Chibi somewhat blames PewDiePie for his notoriety and the multiple meltdowns that happened around that time.
But Adam posted a twit longer, and as a Me Too thing, I posted several stories about stuff that's happened to him. One of them was the PewDiePie thing, because PewDiePie did a video about him at that speedrunning event. You know, basically brought Adam back into the limelight, and made him and once again made him a meme. And as a result, PewDiePie's fans sent Adam a ton of hate mail, you know, threats and hate mail, and Adam wasn't taking it very well. Another story that Adam posted was about how someone
the one and only PewDiePie, I'm not kidding here, the legend himself, he actually made a video regarding the incident from SGDQ 2014. Wow. Let me be clear, let me be frank here. I am not looking for attention. I am not looking for pity. I am not looking for sympathy. This is not what this video is about. This video is just kind of coming straight out and saying, hey, this is, this is my side of the story. It's been 3 years. Let's take a retrospective look at what's happened. So since the couch really wasn't being occupied by anybody really else after that, both me and Saboom just kind of stayed where we were. We just kind of figured, f it. I'm not actually sure if Saboom knew Caveman either. And as you guys could plainly tell, we had absolutely zero chemistry. I mean, it was not working. And me being my happy-go-lucky stupid self, I did not pick up on any of the cues he was throwing out, like, his kind of looking at me sort of funny and responding to me in kind of a way that normal people would take as, hey, you really need to stop talking now. Forward to the moment of truth, where he actually could not stand anymore. He just flat out said, I would really prefer if you would be quiet. And then I just shut down. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, this whole thing has come for full circle. But yeah, no, I was really mad at first. I really wanted to stand up for myself in a way, and I just kind of felt like this was unnecessary, that it would start harassment again. The biggest thing that I really sought to do, and this is basically me in a nutshell. I just try to find some place that I actually feel appreciated and that I belong. Because growing up, I was 100% that outcast that had zero friends, zero social interactivity. Am coming out of my shell, and I'm going back to SGDQ. The only other time I've been to a GDQ was that time. The time that I got told to be quiet. And that pretty much ruined my whole event, because I just felt like I was shot down. And on all days, my birthday, like that's the fucking worst. Like, that's the day that you're supposed to feel like, yeah, it's my birthday, I'm on top of the fucking world right now. Next thing you know, you've got somebody with actually probably upwards of 50,000 to 100,000 people watching this person call you out and just humiliate you in front of everybody. And you know what? I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna hang out with a lot of friends. I'm gonna make new friends. I'm gonna try to rekindle old friendships.
And just to show you guys that this was definitely not PewDiePie's fault and all basically Chibi's doing, Chibi is singing a song to a Nintendo director that tragically passed away. It seems that Chibi is the only person in the room who doesn't understand the cringe factor of badly singing to a man you never knew in your life. especially when you consider that he would probably never do this for a family member again. But out of everything, none of those represent the true ability Chibi has as a lolcow. One day, for some reason, Frank Castle, yes, the boogie Frank Castle, thought he might as well give Chibi a call. Why, you might ask? Well, it was because Chibi's past relationship with minors, that we mentioned previously, wasn't a one-time thing. He was sending multiple nude photographs to who he thought was minors and random e-girls. After sending the photos, Chibi was confronted, and to his surprise, they were all trolls. And he was informed they were going to leak his pics, and there was nothing he could do about it. And to their surprise, he could do something about it. He pulled the ultimate power move and leaked his own nudes to the entire internet and just went on with his day. So Frank Castle phones Mama Cheebs and lets her know of her son's actions.
Yeah, hi, are you Adam's mom?
Yes, I am.
Yes, ma'am. I had some information I wanted to share you that your son has posted pictures of his penis online and he admitted to sending them to a 17-year-old girl.
What?
Yes, your son Adam sent pictures of his penis to an underage girl and he posted the pictures of his penis online.
Who am I talking to?
This is Jonathan.
Hold on a minute. Adam? Did you? No, I did not. Well, someone's saying you did. What's going on here? I don't know, Mother. You didn't do it? No, I did not. Well, this person's saying that you did.
Yeah, hey ma'am, it sounded like we got disconnected.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. I'm really upset about what's happening here.
Ma'am, if you provide me with your email address, I'll be happy to send the pictures to you. If you
Who
want.
am I talking to, though?
This is Jonathan.
Okay, and how did you, how are you affiliated? I'm just trying to figure this out.
Well, the girl sent the pictures to me and she said that Adam sent them to her.
Adam, some girl that's 17 years old, did you know that? There's not a 17-year-old girl. A 17-year-old girl. Do you know what this girl's name is?
Her name is Amy, but I don't know if he knew her by that name. He probably knew her by her online name, and I'm not really sure what that is. But if you have an email address, I could send some stuff to you if you like.
Yeah, do that, please.
Okay, what is your email?
I just want you to know something. He's got some issues. He has Asperger's, autism, and sometimes he doesn't think clearly, and he makes stupid choices and stupid decisions.
Yes, ma'am.
So please, I beg of you, don't go any further with this, and it will never, ever, ever happen again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand. Yes.
He's a good kid. In fact, I'm trying to right now, even trying to get him on Social Security because he's got a severe disability.
I understand.
And I know he could be in big trouble for doing this, and I will have a long talk with him, and I'm sick about this.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Please promise me that you won't go any further with this, because I promise you this will never, ever happen again.
Yes, ma'am. I won't. Don't worry.
And please ask her, and I promise you that she will never hear from him again either.
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry.
And it won't go any
I understand your
further,
predicament.
okay?
Don't worry. Yes, ma'am. I'll email you right now, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And now he's online. I can read it right now. He just said at 4:43 p.m. we exchanged pictures like that. She sent me pictures too. And it's almost like he's bragging about getting pictures from this underage girl. It's very disturbing, to say the least.
Adam, you said he's online right now?
I can read what he said, yeah. And it was 5 minutes ago. He posted it 5 minutes ago.
He's been up here talking to Social Security.
Well, he posted these...
I'm the one that texted you guys back.
Ma'am, he can post from his phone as well. He can post from his phone as well. He can post messages from his phone.
Put something on there about how she sent stuff back to you too. Did you?
I can read it. I can read it right now. I can send you screenshots if you'd like to.
Okay, tell me.
We exchanged.
Tell me what you were saying.
Want me to say it? We exchanged pictures like that. We exchanged pictures like that. She sent me pictures too, is what he said. He said, I was 18, she was 17.
Did you say that? Yeah, I did. Well, because I just...
I don't know. Chibi's kind of scared. Chibi's kind of scary to her because
I would be more than happy to talk to her. He has a girlfriend right now that he really cares about a lot. And
she said that he had some really violent, like, I don't know, fetishes and stuff. He wanted to have sex with men and make her watch and things like that were just very disturbing.
That's what he said to her?
Yes, ma'am.
He will not, he has not done anything like that. I mean, back then, I know he dated someone, we said Adam, though he was 18, he had the mentality of a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I know he used to wear this stupid collar around his dumb neck.
Yeah. Why did he wear the collar? I was very confused. Yeah.
Huh?
Why did he wear that collar? I was confused by it. Oh, okay.
Because it was a video game character that used to dress with this long coat, wear this thing around his neck or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He just had a lot of screwy ideas.
Okay, gotcha.
If he took the collar off, he would die, and just crazy ideas.
He was a big guy, is what you're saying. I understand.
What's that?
He was a big guy.
No, he just had a lot of crazy ideas that were just a little off the wall.
Around the time of the last few videos you guys have just watched, Chibi, despite all of the controversies, was able to find an of-age girlfriend, one that found him through the internet and seemed to enjoy all of the things that Chibi did. Meeting up, Chibi fell in love with her for little other reason than an actual girl liked him. His girlfriend came with many flaws though. She had multiple mental illnesses that would cause her to lash out at Chibi over and over again, and as you could imagine, this would make Chibi very fearful and willing to do whatever he could to keep her at bay. But that was easier said than done when you're Chibi, especially when you have hundreds of trolls investigating your life 24/7. You see, during the relationship, Chibi went to another SGDQ to try and redeem himself from his last not-so-pleasant visit. He was seen on Twitter begging day and night to find someone to room with, claiming if they didn't, he wasted tons of money and it was basically all of his friend's fault. Even though he had a girlfriend, mind you, and she was paying for multiple of his bills and funds already, so she could have probably bunked with him. But to nobody's surprise, not a single person took Chibi up on his offer, but miraculously, he still managed to get the funds and head out to SGDQ, but still yet he refused to take him to any parties of his other friends. This bummed Chibi out, so he made another dire mistake. He began drinking as soon as he woke up to try and loosen up, but all that did was make his awkward behavior 20 times worse. Chibi proceeded to grope a random female and almost get attacked by her husband, but after the husband saw the shape and demeanor of Chibi, he quickly let it slide. However, a detail left out by Chibi. Later on, Chibi managed to talk his way into bunking with this person for the night, the guy we mentioned previously, and proceeded to talk dirty to him even though he was asked multiple times to stop. To make the night even worse, Chibi proceeded to kiss him and began apologizing about it afterwards. When the night was over, Chibi returned home and was met with these allegations. He would claim it was all mutual and quickly moved on, even though the other person says that was all false. These events would be recalled through Kiwi Farms, which Chibi's girlfriend happened to read. Not the boyfriend part, but the marriage part. And his girlfriend would no doubt confront Chibi on these allegations. The only way it could happen in Chibi's life, on live, in front of everybody. And if you thought this was the only time Chibi or her put their relationship on blast for the entire internet to see, you'd be wrong. After making up, Chibi talked his girlfriend into coming over, and being the individual he is, Chibi talked her into sealing the deal with him, if you guys catch my drift. But this wasn't a night Chibi would end up looking back on fondly. During the event, his girlfriend was crying the entire time, partially due to the fact Chibi couldn't maintain himself, causing her to feel unattractive. With tears streaming down her face, Chibi knew he had to calm her down. So Chibi informed his girlfriend it's not her fault. He just needs to wear her underwear and do it all himself. So she sat back as Chibi put on her underwear and did his business, as embarrassing as that sounds. And as you could imagine, dealing with that and struggling with mental illnesses, and also having a partner that is so heavily scrutinized, wasn't good for her. And with Chibi constantly being unfaithful, whether that be being caught sending unwanted photographs or straight up flirting with trolls, his girlfriend had enough. But she wasn't going to live without a huge exit. Chibi knew this. After an argument over how Chibi's girlfriend doesn't have the game Splatoon, and from her perspective, she was being left out of Chibi and his friends' conversations. Hearing Chibi was losing interest in her, she began calling him non-stop for over 36 hours, while debating with Chibi's friends on what she should do to win the Cheapster's heart back. When checking his Discord, Chibi was horrified over how obsessive his girlfriend was becoming. Fearing the worst, Chibi decided that it was time for them to break up. But not able to deal with his girlfriend's hysterics and the fear she put in him, Chibi decided the best option was to get his mom to do it for him, putting her in the way of Chibi's unstable ex-girlfriend. Chibi's girlfriend didn't take the news so well, threatening to attack Mama Cheebs, and later on she found Adam's vehicle and left a few key marks in it, even threatening to set it ablaze in a few Discord messages.
Nice.
Oh, what was this?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Okay, so I found a form, and it's not 4chan. But goddamn, it's a lot worse than 4chan, let me tell you something.
Oh boy.
Oh my, and there's stuff about me on here too.
Yeah, I thought there would be.
The people from SGDQ, they're posting shit about you. Like, I'm shaking, like, I don't know what to do.
Wait, what do you mean, like, the people from SGDQ? This year?
Do you want me to read it?
This year?
Yeah. There's a quote. My mom is on the phone breaking up with my psycho girlfriend. I can't even see straight right now. My head's gonna burst. There's so much wrong with the sentence, I don't even know where to start. Is his girlfriend that he's been seeing with? Well, I found your nudes, by the way. That happened.
Not surprised.
Oh, it starts. Here we go. Chibi is at SGDQ right now, and judging from Twitter, his mere presence is creating drama. He's already been accused of awkwardly hitting on someone's girlfriend. Is it too much for me to hope he gets on the couch for a run?
So, me making small talk with someone... First off, that wasn't his girlfriend, that was his wife. Second, that was small talk?
Reporting from SGDQ, Cheebs is participating in a 70-star SM64 race. Has never played the game. While everything's been getting set up, he's been trying tricks, getting some, I'll give him credit, and repeatedly been screeching loudly. It gets louder and louder. Multiple people have said they're leaving because of him specifically. I agree with others and wish he figures shit out, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, I know for a fact that wasn't one of my finer moments when I was, like, really super drunk at that, well, drunk 70-star race. That was, like, kind of the whole purpose of it, was to be a drunk 70-star race.
Is he doing this as some kind of revenge from being told to be quiet? I wish I knew. He was apparently drunk. Doesn't stop the fact that he was annoying everyone. The race finished and Chibi was begging, like literally begging for Cheese to help him. Yesterday was his birthday, according to Twitter, and he was desperately seeking people out to hang it with him. I have no doubt he was drunk. Why did he sign up for speedrun a game that he never played? Did he assume that it'd be easy? He could compete with guys who knew the game? I mean, I thought SM64 was pretty easy too, even when it came out and I was young. But I still would recommend at least one 100% playthrough to familiarize yourself and plan out which stars to go for. But
I don't feel like that's actually like bashing, but rather people just kind of telling it straight. Because because that actually was very true about SGDQ, that I got drunk multiple times, and like I said, it was mainly so that I could get over my not being able to talk to people very well.
She really looks like someone who got paid $500 to be his girlfriend for the week at SGDQ.
I love how these people are actually doubting my ability to actually have a relationship with somebody.
It's true, it doesn't seem like he'd ever date someone who wasn't insane. Yeah, the bitch is batshit crazy. I have a privilege of being in his Discord during one of their fights. She went off on him after his mother broke up with her and posted a bunch of personal information about him in such a meaty tidbit.
I know that, yeah, I never asked for the drama, but everything that they're saying is completely true. I can't debate any of it.
Why do I gotta get sucked down into this, though?
This is what I was afraid of when you started dating me. This is exactly what I was afraid of.
I don't look like a man, do I?
No, of course not.
Okay, I don't know who you are, Illyria, but that was extremely rude.
What?
Said, damn, that straight friend zone shit, bro. She talking about missing her ex and being all flirty. What a blue balling, attention whoring slut. LMAO, you best get out.
Bitch, I will fight you. I will fight you. You don't dare insult me like that. You don't know the situation I'm going through. I'm on probation. And I can't see my ex right now. And it's very hard. You wanted to play with your little boyfriends and girlfriends and fangirls and fanboys, so I was talking to somebody else, and then all of a sudden shit happened with Effie, and I got really upset. Can you at least message her and be like, hey,
yeah,
are you okay?
I'll message her. That shouldn't be
people, sorry, I love him, and I have to call him right now.
Because even though he had just had his mom break up with his girlfriend for him, and she cooks his food and does his dishes, all things by Mama Chibi's account, Chibi literally had no idea how to do all the way up into his 30s. For better or for worse, she believes he's mentally incapable of doing these tasks, which kinda shows you the coddling Mama Chibs is known for. But with all the care Chibi was receiving from her, he thought that she was adding too much stress into his life and causing him to lose grasp on the one thing that truly mattered to him, and that was his love of speedrunning. He wasn't getting the numbers he wanted, and he could only blame his mom, just like everything else in his life. So, Chibi decided to move out with two of his gamer friends, much to his mom's dismay. It wouldn't take long for Chibi's roommates to realize they had made one of the worst mistakes of their life. As Mama Chibs said previously, Chibi had no idea how to do any basic essentials. He began to stink up the house with all of his dirty laundry and bad hygiene. Chibi was even refusing to pick up the garbage on the floor. When confronted, he would quickly give them the same runaround he gave to his mom, that he was busy working and streaming, most likely hiding the fact of his ineptitude out of shame. And soon, this bad hygiene would catch up to him. Coming into work smelling and groggy from playing video games all night, customers and other employees began to complain about him, and after a simple mistake, they fired him, no doubt trying to wash their hands of a mistake they made in the past. When returning home, Chibi was quick to tell his roommates of what happened. Chibi must have seen the worry on their face because he explained why he wasn't worried about this at all. Without his mom and job, he was finally going to be able to become a full-time streamer. Chibi was informed he had till the end of the month to collect all of his things after he told him that. And in true Lolcow fashion, Chibi, who was spited by this situation, decided he was going to get back at his roommates by calling the apartment manager, telling on them for letting him stay there without notice, most likely causing some problems for his former roommates, and yet again, another example of Chibi destroying relationships through his own anger and laziness. And, of course, yet again, Mama Cheebs was forced to take her son back in. You'd think this would improve their relationship, but things would only get much worse from here on.
Someone on Kiwi Farms coined the Chibi cycle. You know, at the top. You know, it's like the Sonic cycle, except with infinitely more autism. Does cringy shit and receives negative attention. Has a public mental breakdown for ass pats from the Troon Core. Yeah, you can tell this is from Kiwi Farms. Goes on break to find self. Has an epiphany about what cringy shit to do next, and then it's just over and over again.
Little did Mama Cheebs know the domino effect of this decision she just made would last for the rest of her life. You see, after Chibi's biological father passed, Chibi's mom remarried shortly after, hoping that keeping a steady male role model in her son's life would not only help them out, but keep her sane. Unfortunately for her husband, this was around the time Chibi was getting trolled non-stop. During all of the pizza phone calls, Chibi's stepdad was also dealing with this. As a man who knew nothing of the internet, he thought this was insane, and no matter how much he scolded Chibi or tried to course correct his life, nothing was getting through to him, and in only a short amount of years, Chibi's stepdad could no longer handle the stresses that came along with Chibi. Yes, it had nothing to do with Chibi's mom. Chibi's stepdad cited him specifically as the reason for their divorce. Just the thought of him moving back in and all of the chaos that was going to come along with it was enough for him to say, no, I can't do this anymore. But sadly, after the divorce, Chibi made multiple Twitter posts letting the entire internet know of his family's personal drama, somehow failing to realize this was the exact reason they divorced in the first place. Chibi's inability to keep his private affairs off the internet. And shortly after these Twitter posts, Chibi's stepdad would tragically pass away due to a heart attack. Your reasons for the cause of the heart attack is good as mine, and I've got a pretty good guess.
I'm just completely broken. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't feel accepted anymore. I don't feel like I belong anywhere anymore. I just feel like I'm a complete stain on the community. And there's really nothing I can do about it. It hurts so much. But this is the reality that I have to live with now. I don't even feel like I should be here. I don't even think people want me here anymore. I just don't know what I can do anymore. I don't know what else I can do. If people really want me gone that bad, then fine, I'll go. I'm just tired of the pain. I'm tired of constantly feeling I'm alone.
Chibi's mom tried to meet a new man, trying to move on from the past a few years later, but during her bar visit with her date, she was surprised when Chibi appeared at the bar she was at, dressed in a Persona 5 cosplay, causing the man to never call her again, and to our knowledge, is the last time Mama Cheebs ever attempted to be in a relationship, leaving Chibi as the only man in her life. And with this newfound responsibility, Chibi tried to get multiple jobs, normally only lasting 3 or 4 days before getting fired for unspecified reasons. It got so bad, Chibi finally broke down and begged 20 or so speedrunners to help him hold a marathon to raise money to pay the bills at his mom's house. and to many people's surprise, Chibi ended up making over $2,000 in profit. Nobody is sure if Chibi went through with his promise to use all of that money for bills, but seeing as they didn't lose the house, Chibi might have actually kept his word, or his mom forced him to since he was the reason for her divorce. The cringy clips really go to show you the odd dynamic these two have. And I want you guys to notice how at the end of almost all of Chibi's stories, his mom swoops in out of nowhere to save him from whatever bad decision he's made for himself, no matter the sacrifice on her own life. So by now, you'd think Chibi would have some sort of respect for her. No. After saving him over 1,000 times, Chibi's mom was horrified by a new revelation that Chibi had laid on her during this hectic time of her life. He informed his mom that he was now bi and was going to live his life openly around her. He wanted to bring his partner to family outings, and Chibi's mom was not having none of this. This actually shocked her, telling Chibi that he was now going to have to go to church every Sunday. This seems to have been the final straw for Chibi. Since this event, he refuses to acknowledge the help he receives from her, but that doesn't stop him from calling to her aid whenever he gets himself in trouble.
I was raised Lutheran, and our beliefs back then were very, very strict. Eventually, like around the time that I turned 18, and also around the time that I realized that I was bisexual, I fell out of the faith when I really kind of got to really understand what it was. It wasn't the message that I originally thought it was of peace and forgiveness, but rather just...
You see, a big part of the Chibi cycle is when he claims that he is going to change his life. He'll then pick up his room and proclaim it's a huge step for his mental health, not realizing he's basically doing nothing and a lot more hard work is needed. Eventually, trolls finally break this message through to him, so possibly in an attempt to spite them or through his own delusions, he was going to join a gym, and to make sure he didn't quit, he hired the most expensive gym trainer possible to motivate him. This ended up eating over 60% of Chibi's monthly salary. As you can see, this was a very bad deal. So Chibi's mom was left with no choice but to go through a strenuous process of getting this cancelled. During this time as well, Mama Cheebs was looking through Adam's funds. She realized that Chibi was giving a huge portion of his income to OnlyFans subscriptions. Genuinely furious, Chibi rarely helps with the bills and was giving all of his money away to e-girlfriends. She confronted Chibi about this, hoping to change his perspective, only to be met with Chibi being furious that his mom was trying to take away his one and only chance of ever getting a girlfriend again, or at least so he thought. He might have been right. Chibi put up so much of a fight that Mama Cheebs was going to turn off the internet, causing Chibi to finally relent. This all culminated into a pretty funny event where Mama Cheebs had a realization and decided to sit Adam down and inform him. She realized that he should not be a father. I'm not sure how it would take her that long to realize this, but this event must have struck a chord in Chibi. Not to do anything about it, but to cement his hatred for his mom, because Chibi believes one day he'll be a great father. This also made him tweet out that his mom was like the Sahara Desert and was never going to get another man. Not only is that a weird thing to say, it's also ironic that Chibi is the most likely reason for his mom being single. With some investments, Mama Chibi couldn't save the young cringelord from. One of the more infamous moments was back when the Kickstarter for Yooka-Laylee was offering anyone who donated around $5,000 the chance to voice a character in the game. As soon as Chibi heard this, he realized he had a new passion in his life, and that was to be a voice actor. And with all of the anime he's watched in his life, he knew he found his next path. For anybody who's ever played Yooka-Laylee, it's a platformer with little dialogue, and the dialogue that is there is spoken gibberish, akin to Banjo-Kazooie. So even if this did work out, there would be no realistic chance that Chibi would be able to gain any additional paying roles afterwards. But that mattered little, since Chibi could only receive a loan for around $4,000. Still undeterred, he tried to get the loan to donate the money so he could at least get his name in the credits of the game. This was somehow expected to explode his streaming career, even though the game to this day, only around 20% of the players have actually completed it, that we can tell from the achievement. And I'd say less than 1% watched the entire credits, and only one person would even notice Chibi's name in the credits, and that would be him. Needless to say, this would have been a huge waste of money, but unfortunately, we can't confirm if he actually did go through with this donation or not, since he wasn't able to receive the full amount. He probably still used most of the loan money to donate to the Kickstarter.
I'm gonna clean the filter. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but my anxiety is peaking right now.
I know. My heart. The last time I saw
my
it,
heart's
bro,
beating so fast. Help.
Aquana trying to snipe Brandon out.
You said it was him.
Yeah, but no, we don't vote on 7.
Must
We don't
be
vote
Brandon.
on 7. It's not worth voting on 7.
Oh, whatever. I have to go to the death box. Oh god, not the death box. Someone's already in here, isn't there? Oh god! Wait, there's 2 people here. There's 2 people. Unless they're both imposters. Fuck. I just vote me off, please.
Alright.
Alright, so is anyone else dead?
My anxiety is way too high right now.
Aquana, you had the
Aquana.
microphone. Say something.
I said my anxiety is way too high right now. Please vote me off.
Oh.
Aw. I mean,
You've gotten 0 imposters, 1 kill, they just win.
I'm having the worst panic attack right now.
Oh, poor Aquana.
oh, Aquana, you're
The game does
amazing.
not help my anxiety.
I'm
at all.
putting it down.
It's not me, but
I
I'd
think
rather
it's
not
Dark
be jump
Queen,
scared right
though.
now, so just kill me, please.
I just don't like to talk.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna close this game.
Oh, wow.
Brandon!
Yeah,
Get the feeling better, Aquana.
Yeah,
This high. I feel like I'm gonna melt down any second. This is why normally I don't play games with jump scares, because it does not work with my anxiety at all. Even that game, like, God damn it. It's the only thing I can say is I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for being fucking pussy, that's what. I don't know, I have absolutely no idea what just came over me. I was just frozen. I couldn't talk, I couldn't think. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just wish I didn't have fucking anxiety, dude. Be able to enjoy so much more if I didn't have fucking anxiety. It just hurts because I want to be able to enjoy things. I can't fucking enjoy things. Maybe I should get off. I don't want anybody seeing me like this. This is embarrassing. All I ever want to do is make people happy. And lately I don't feel like I have. I just hate this. I hate feeling like this day in and day out. I hate all the pain. I hate constantly feeling upset with myself, thinking that I'm not good enough. I just hate it. I hate feeling like I'm losing all my friends. And that less and less people show up. feel like I've let them down. I feel like I've let everybody down. I just wish I wasn't a fucking partner, because it puts so much pressure on me to be like everybody else and be successful. I just can't believe I let my emotions come to this. All I ever feel is like I'm failing all my friends and everyone who depends on me to bring joy into their lives. Chuck, I was playing Among Us with Dan and some friends, and I was feeling so much anxiety for whatever reason that I just couldn't play it anymore. I don't know why.
What more does this game want from me? What more does it want? I just want to be good at this game. That's all I want to do. I just want to be good at something. Anything. I just want to be good at something.
After yet again realizing that he was never gonna be a successful streamer, due to the trolls that would no doubt amass and outweigh any positives that could come his way, and the fact he wasn't talented enough at any of the games he speedran to become a major player in them, Chibi was thinking of ways to break away from his mundane life and live the Japanese lifestyle he so desperately craved. So he enrolled himself into Full Sail University's gaming classes, wanting to become the next big game designer, until Chibi ran into one huge issue. He didn't realize all the basic math requirements that came with designing video games, and the countless hurdles that come along with them as well. So Chibi would procrastinate all day, and most likely seeing this as a way of gaining attention from strangers on the internet, would begin begging Discord forums on help with his homework until some unlucky soul would end up doing the entire thing for him. And this is how Chibi managed to scrape by in most of his classes. And when Chibi's Discord friends refused to help him or just wasn't available, Chibi would have meltdowns in the Full Sail Discord servers. At first, his classmates had sympathy, but according to Chibi, they began openly making fun of him and his attempts at manipulating his fellow students into doing his work, knowing themselves that he would have no idea how to make a game on his own once college was over with. And there's a theory that he also had to spend a lot of extra time and money due to failing classes, since it has taken Chibi almost an extra 3 years longer than most people to graduate from Full Sail University.
You have mentioned that you were in school for game design. Have you made any demos or showcases during your lessons that are worth sharing?
So not quite yet. I've done a few projects independently and as a team as like homework assignments, but nothing so far that I feel like I'm confident enough to show a potential client. A lot of the projects that I've done so far were, I would say, like very basic, like block mesh. If people who aren't familiar with that term, it's basically like blocking out a level with like very primitive shapes and like getting the actual mechanics scripted and implemented the way that it's supposed to work in the final level. But over the next 3 months, I'm actually going to be doing capstone work before I graduate. This month I have to make a entire level that is it's a non-linear level with multiple winding paths and non-required objectives and required objectives.
He found that through manipulating strangers into doing his homework, that he was actually really good with people. He could get them to do almost whatever he wanted. And due to his past, he felt like he connected with people on an emotional level and really knows where they come from, announcing to the world that he was going to now go back to school and become a therapist. To nobody's surprise, Chibi, in a rare moment of self-reflection, realized there was no chance of him actually doing this, so he transferred that passion into 3D printing. How do they relate? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but with Chibi's newfound love for 3D printing, he had a few other realizations. That he could step his cosplaying up to a level now never before seen, actually making realistic keyblades and other accessories for his cosplays. He would now become a streamer again, because of course he would, and take over the entire streaming world. But Chibi never actually gained the motivation to start streaming consistently, whether that's due to the trolls or his own laziness. It never really took off. But what did come of the 3D printing arc was far more entertaining. Being a fan of Game Grumps, Chibi would buy a cameo, yes, he bought the cameo, asking one of the Game Grumps what anime sword would he like for Chibi to send to him. As you could see, he actually told Chibi not even to bother, didn't want it, and for some reason this motivated Chibi to go ahead and make him a sword that he thinks he would like, and sent it to him, no doubt ignoring the fact that it's probably collecting dust in some warehouse. This didn't stop Chibi in the slightest.
This was his response.
If I had a custom sword, it would basically be like a Cardcaptor Sakura wand or like a Sailor Moon wand with a sword attached to it. You know what I mean? Like the hilt is like the wand and then there's just kind of a sword coming out of it. That would be my like ideal custom sword, but I certainly ain't asking you for one.
Oh, a challenge is it?
You think you know Kingdom Hearts? Prove it in the comments by saying something from the games. I'll judge you based on your answer.
This also seems to be around the time that Chibi's mom finally realized the only way she was ever going to be able to get away from Chibi is if she paid for him his own place. But she also knew there was no way Chibi would survive on his own, so she had Chibi's brother move in with him. And Chibi's brother is someone we haven't mentioned much, but there is a few things you should know. You see, Chibi's brother is basically a normal Chibi. He has all the same problems as Chibs, but manages to hold down a job and keep a girlfriend. The latter part is something Chibi is very jealous about, making many tweets since he's moved in with his brother, detailing the tragedy of being single and having to see a loving couple every day of his life. It's also very weird how Chibi seems to spy on them during the most intimate of times, even posting about it on Twitter where he thinks his brother won't see, even though the trolls probably send it to him. And also because his brother's girlfriend to this day is the only person who seems to be giving him encouraging advice. And through his attention seeking, Chibi isn't afraid to blast his brother anytime he wants to just to get a little crumb of attention. And this is one of the worst examples, possibly an attempt to embarrass his brother, most likely out of spite. Chibi is a very spiteful person. Chibi decided he was going to tell the internet about a random drunken night where him and his brother kissed on New Year's. Chibi would wake up the next morning, realizing in horror of what he posted to Facebook. His entire family saw it. He rushed to delete it, but it was too late. Trolls had screenshotted the picture, and his entire family was disgusted by this revelation. Chibi would pick up his activity on random Discord servers. He found himself in, let's say, some unsavory forums where him and others would talk about more graphic subjects. After being gassed up by some other members' posts, Chibi would create a message saying anyone who wants to see something crazy, send me a private message. Around 5 unlucky participants sent Chibi a message. In return, they received something that shocked them to their core. They got multiple photos of Chibi posing for them, wearing nothing. But the most disturbing part of the pictures was apparently Chibi was seen involving his cat in these photos. I'm not sure exactly how, but your guess is good as mine. The Discord moderators were quickly notified of Chibi's wrongdoings before he was swiftly kicked out of the server, posting an apology to Facebook, and the Discord server publicly airing Chibi out and all of his wrongdoings.
Almost a week ago, posted this about him. Attention all members. We would like to remind you that sending unsolicited nude photos is not only inappropriate and disrespectful, but it also violates our community guidelines. We have a zero-tolerance policy for such behavior, and any user found to be engaging in it will be immediately banned from the platform. As an example, we've recently had to ban user Adam White for sending unsolicited nude photos. This behavior is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. We take the safety and comfort of our users very seriously. And as a result of this, Adam went into full damage control mode on Discord, on the official Discord. He was banned from that too, saying, no, you don't understand, it was consensual, they all agreed to it, yada, 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 right? And then went into his usual Shadow the Hedgehog super edgy mode, where he started posting about how we'll never see him again. He has an addiction to showing his dick to people. He claims that he started posting like cheeky photos of himself in the 21 and up Discord, and people were encouraging him. He claims to have body dysmorphia, and this really boosted his confidence, and as a result, he got a little bit too he got a little bit too ahead of himself and decided, hey, if these guys like these photos, then maybe they'll like a picture of my dick, including one photo where it was a POV from his point of view of his cat sitting on his dick. I made a powerful post today on Facebook, and I'm pinning this so I never forget these words. We keep moving forward. Yes. Now keep in mind the context is that he was banned from a convention fan Facebook group. He was banned from a Colossal Con Facebook group because he kept sending unsolicited pictures of his dick to random people, to random women. Yes, what happened sucked. I wish it didn't happen. I wish it didn't happen. Well, maybe you shouldn't have sent pictures of your dick to random people, Adam. Have you ever thought about that? I could have handled it differently, but as much as I wish I can go back in time and fix it, it's in the past now, and I can't worry about it, so I'm putting out a declaration here and now. This goes out to anyone who's decided not to associate with me, anyone who's been relishing in my trauma. His trauma. He's the one sending pictures of his dick and harassing women, but he's the one who's experiencing trauma. Anyone who's lost faith in me along the way, this will be the last time you will see me like this. I won't hide anymore. I won't run away. I'm going to own up to the shit I did and make a fucking difference. Can you just hear the Kingdom Hearts music in the background as you're reading this?
So the picture with your cat on your penis. What was your thought process on that?
Oh boy. All right. Well, so that it was weird as fuck. I mean, you know that the Colossal Con Discord, like the NSFW chat, everybody's posting lewds and nudes of themselves to some degree. Honestly was not meant to be taken out of context, and I'm sure a lot of people are taking it out of context. So I think my thought process was I thought having other subject matter in the shot would be more appealing to look at than just a straight up nude. But so I'll try to summarize this the best I can, since I've already explained it multiple times. But as I'm sure you're aware, because you're a part of it, the Colossal Con 20 plus Discord, or 21 plus Discord, NSFW chat is pretty much where everybody hangs out and talks. Nobody really talks in any of the other channels. And I wanted to try to meet people and fit in with everybody who they were commonly posting lewds or nudes of themselves, which at first I was not entirely comfortable with because, number one, I have really bad body dysmorphia and I hate the way I look, especially naked. And number two, there's quite a few nudes of myself that have been leaked already. But in general, everybody was very, very supportive of me. And people posted more and more pictures of each other, and I thought that I could try to step outside my comfort zone a little bit, maybe feel a little bit more confident in myself. And so I said, hey, whoever reacts to this, I will send them something to their DM. In total, it was sent to 3 girls and 1 guy, and it was a video of myself out and climaxing.
After this event, Chibi had realized that without actual help, he was going to continue into a cycle where he was going to make a huge mistake, try to make up for it, somehow embarrass himself even worse, go into a depression, and start all over again. And most likely being in the depressed part of said cycle, Chibi decided he was going to start doing magnet therapy, a therapy some may consider pseudoscience. But to Chibi, this was going to be the only way that he was ever going to get help. The sessions were expensive, but with his mom's help, of course, he was able to make all the payments, and surprisingly, Chibi was actually making all of the appointments on time, even though he was taking sick days from work to meet some of the deadlines. Until one day, Chibi was running a little bit late. When he arrived, he was informed that his therapist was currently in another session and he was going to have to come back during his next scheduled appointment. And after having a bad day already and thinking he needed to see his therapist immediately decided the best way for him to get his way was to begin slamming the clipboard and having a mini meltdown inside of the office, cursing and apparently punching the desk hard enough to move all of the objects on it. As he drove away, hoping to blow off some steam and feeling good that he for once positively vented and didn't take his anger out on others and just random objects. He would be surprised when he received a call informing him that he would have to pay out his remaining sessions and was barred from coming back to the office, and obviously sent Chibi into a panic. So he did the only thing that he could think of, call his mom and let her deal with all the problems. And like always, Mama Chibi somehow managed to get Chibi out of yet another jam, getting his money back for all of his unattended appointments.
Anyway, let's move on. Because damn, that sucks. What is magnetic therapy, and why were you being treated with it?
Okay, so magnetic therapy, it's a lot like shock therapy, but it's less invasive. And it works by having a machine deliver an electromagnetic pulse to a certain spot on the head, in succession. It's supposed to target an area in the brain which helps with emotional regulation, and it's meant to treat treatment-resistant depression. For my final few sessions, I had to rush over there to make it for an appointment. I think I was like 30 minutes away, and the person who administered the test said they had to leave in like 20, so I had to rush as fast as I could, and I think speed a couple times down the freeway. But I was not able to be seen for my appointment because the clinician had already left before I got there. And I talked to the receptionist, and she was like, yeah, no, you just missed them. They had to go. And I was really visibly frustrated because I tried as hard as I could to make it all the way out there because I knew how important this was, and I didn't want to. How earlier today I stayed in my bed for a good portion of the day, and then at some point I was like, why am I still in bed right now? It's already 2:00. I need to start getting stuff done. And at that point I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna walk around for a little bit. Unfortunately that didn't last very long because then rain started happening. But I know that change is difficult, especially for somebody who has repeated the same behaviors for years and years. I will keep making the same mistakes and probably end up in a situation on par with Christian. Only at this point, only time will tell what happens. I know that based on all of the things that have happened in my life and all of the friends that I've lost and all of the opportunities that I've lost and all the pain that I've caused, I hate having to go through all that. But when I was there, I angrily pounded my fist on the counter, not super hard, but like enough to kind of disturb a couple of like the objects on the counter, and I just said, damn it. And then I ended up leaving as soon as I calmed down. But apparently later on that day, the presiding doctor called me and said that I was banned from coming back there because according to him, I was supposedly violent and yelling at his staff. I remember, yes, I was upset. And I think I'm pretty sure the worst I said was damn it, or or not even like I don't think I said anything worse than that. I honestly do not remember. But he said he would not be pressing charges as long as I agreed not to return there again, and I agreed. So, yeah, to this day, what happened in that office is still a mystery to me. I don't know if I'm right, I don't know if he's right, but that's pretty much how that ended. And it was a shame because we ended up paying a lot of money for that magnetic therapy.
And as previously mentioned, Chibi had a job during this time, and it was actually the best job Chibi ever had, and most likely ever will. After Chibi's mom smooth talked a manager to give Chibi a salaried job selling phone plans, Chibi would actually manage to hold the job down. Due to no help from himself, on Chibi's Kiwi farm, a few people claiming to work with them began to pop up. At first they was met with doubt, but they soon proved themselves. Posting legitimate pictures of Chibi's work car Chibi had filmed himself in doing TikToks, so people were easily able to identify this was the real deal. They would go on to show the complete mess Chibi left the vehicle in. It was covered in Taco Bell garbage and a large amount of dandruff. I'm having trouble finding the picture, but if I can find it before the video is out, you'll see it right here. They would also detail the complete joke of a job that Chibi was doing. They are all required to have a monthly team meeting that is almost always ruined by Chibi complaining about hitting deadlines and begging to miss more work for some extravagant self-help event he's planned for himself. This leaves his co-workers shouldering an extra load because of his lack of discipline, and to their surprise, the manager tends to let Chibi slide with all of this. Most of them are guessing he's a part of some kind of hiring program that gives the business more money than they lose with keeping him.
Well, I just finished my first job today. Should probably get something to eat since I didn't really eat this morning. Oh no. Oh hey, Taco Bell's still serving breakfast. Well, probably stop in and get something. Are you fucking serious, dude? Remember the last 3 times you've been to Taco Bell, and all 3 of those times you felt like shit the entire day? Yeah, but like, I haven't had any stomach problems in a while, and besides, just 1 breakfast box, and not like it's gonna kill me. Fine, do whatever. I'll be the one suffering, as usual. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Sure, Jan. Oh, this sucks! Why do I keep doing this to myself? Well, that sure was fun. What do we get from Taco Bell tomorrow, huh? You trash-eating shitbag. Guys, is, now a bad time? Oh, shut the hell up! I'll just be...
I worked with the guy for 3 years now, and it's true. Dude isn't just a creep outside of work, but he's also during work as well. I've actually started putting together an album of all the shit he's been doing over the years to expose him at work to make sure he can't prey on our coworkers. If anyone has stories or screenshots they can share, please DM me or can help pass stuff around to the other groups so we can't find a new group to leech on. This convention is the first and won't be the last, but we can make sure that we bring awareness to minimize that. And that's the thing that Adam does constantly. He leeches onto communities and conventions so that he can, earn people's trust and be creepy and be a creep toward them.
But even though Chibi had a job that didn't require too much of him, very low expectations that gave him around $80K a year, Chibi once again thought this was too stressful and not his dream. He needed to finally do what he always wanted, and that was to become an English teacher in Japan. Thinking it was an easy job he was a shoo-in for because, well, he's a native speaker of English. This would also get him closer to a culture he identified with more than his American one, even though that culture is the only reason he has any interest in Japan whatsoever. So Chibi would begin to beg for time off so he could take trips to Japan. During his first trip, many people was concerned if Chibi would even be able to make it off the plane in one piece, but to their surprise, Chibi actually went through with this trip with very little bumps or bruises along the way. But even though this was a big step for the Cheapster, it didn't stop him from making a fool of himself. During a time in his life that should have been full of adventure and exploration, on the first night of his Japan visit, maybe filled with nostalgia, Chibi would turn on a live stream in the middle of the night and begin to speedrun Mario Golf while live streaming. As you could imagine, this was very intrusive to the other guests, leading to a moment that reminds me of Chibi's time in his mom's house. One other guest, with some sense to them, gets up and turns the lights out on Chibi, a subtle hint to stop playing games and getting on the other guest's nerves. After this happened, Chibi didn't really do nothing of note afterwards, but sit silently and continue to play the game, which had to frustrate the person who turned off the lights and every other guest who was just dealing with Chibi. But nonetheless, this trip helped Chibi gain the confidence that he could become an English teacher. Not sure how, but it gave him the confidence at least. The next few months, Chibi would tweet that he was taking multiple tests to get a job, failing most, but he finally passed one of the tests that let him internship at a small rural town in Japan, leading Chibi to fly out and attempt to live his dreams. But like a reminder that Chibi will never escape himself, no matter what continent he's on, a Japanese television show spotted the American Lolcow and like shark-smelling blood swarmed him, and during the interview, Chibi managed to embarrass himself on Japanese public television.
My trip to Japan, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a very transformative trip, and I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I'm glad that I finally got the chance to do so. So for those who don't know, I went to Japan for 2 weeks back in January with a group of people who were neurodivergent. It's a travel group that basically helps neurodivergent individuals basically see different parts of the world. But I did a lot of really cool things there. Like I saw some really cool buildings. So we went to Akihabara. We went to Osaka. We went to we explored a little bit of Tokyo, not where we got to visit a bunch of different hot springs. That was definitely one of the highlights of the trip. But I think that and the best thing about the trip was also being able to go to USJ, which and it was honestly I felt like a child visiting Disneyland for the first time. It was like surreal, like seeing all of the different environments recreated and seeing the characters. Like you could see Princess Peach, you could see Toad, you could see Mario and Luigi, and like everything was just it was so cool. But there's still a lot that I haven't seen yet. And so yeah, in my head I did. I told you we went to several hot springs, and as customary, everyone has to be fully naked when inside the hot springs. And so when I went to the hot springs, I went there with my travel guides and a few of the people who were traveling with me. And obviously that was something that drew my eye. And it was something that got me very self-conscious because I saw how much more endowed they were than I was, and obviously it made me embarrassed about myself. So take that however you will. As you know, cosplay is something I really enjoy, and it actually got me interested in Japan and their culture to begin with. As soon as I first got into the cosplay scene, that's how I got introduced to anime and manga and all that stuff. So being able to cosplay there was definitely a really cool experience. But also taking into account the culture of Japanese people, I wanted to make sure that the cosplay that I chose was not one that would attract a lot of attention. So that's why I chose not Joker per se, but the actual cosplay was Ren Amamiya, which is basically Joker's alter ego, is his actual identity, but in his school uniform. And seeing people in school uniforms, like either on the street or on a train in Japan, is very common. So I figured doing that, I pretty much blend right in. What I'd like to do is I'd like to try to apply for the JET program. For those who don't know, the JET program is a program that helps people become like an ALT in Japan, and it's a little bit more. I think it's a government sanctioned program, so it's usually the salary is a bit higher than your average ALT, which is about 250,000 yen, or roughly like 1,800 a month in like your monthly salary. And then once I'm actually living in Japan, because a lot of employers that like post want ads for jobs in Japan require you to actually be living there. So more than likely, if I don't get into the JET program and I do end up wanting to move to Japan, I'll probably have to start as an ALT first for at least a month or two. And then once I actually have my feet firmly planted on Japanese soil, that's when I'll start putting in like my resumes and stuff like that for actual game design jobs.
We are Japanese TV show.
Oh.
So a little interview, okay?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
緊張。
緊張。
恥ずかしいだよ。
日本語喋れるんですか？
少し。
あ、すごい。どちらの国から来られたんですか？カントリー。
アメリカから来ました。
ユウは何しに日本へ
？I came here before earlier this year, and I want to actually possibly learn how to teach English. So I am here by myself. So this time I came alone just to see if I can kind of handle things on my own.
一人で全部やる。
一人で。
結構緊張してますか？
旅を一人でやるってことなの？一人旅ってことだよね。
もっとも緊張。
リラックス。そんだけ日本語喋れれば大丈夫だ。
日本楽しんでください、ぜひ。
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. 楽しみだよ。
取材後？
チャックが開いてる。チャックが開いてる。
ズボンのチャック？
チャックが開いてて。You're super.
開いて。ハプニングからの。
背中も見えてるかもしれない。
踏んだり蹴ったり。
濃いじゃんそれ。ね、恥ずかしいね。
That happens so much.
ありがとうございます。Have a great day.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
After that fateful event, when Chibi returned home, he claimed that he was going to go back and become a permanent citizen of Japan. But as months pass, Chibi seems to take no action in proceeding with those goals. It seems that Chibi is currently in the middle of a depression cycle, most likely caused by him failing at another passion of his. This has led to him lashing out at his brother, causing brother Chibs to move out and take his girlfriend with him, so it's only a matter of time before Mama Chibs will have to swoop in and save the day. And just to show you that Chibi will never change, I think it's best to end this video with the final time Chibi talked to Big Al. In 2016, the USA had a sudden and vast social justice movement. Many people found themselves attaching to these ideals, specifically people in the weirder niches, such as Chibi. If he wasn't whining or vying for attention or complaining about his mom, Chibi would be posting his political hot takes, which normally consisted of very common far-left viewpoints. Unfortunately, Chibi's love of attention and seeing all of the media following stories of victims, Chibi decided to make a twit longer detailing an ordeal of his, or well, multiple ones. You see, Chibi, through all of his complaining about not having friends at SGDQs, wasn't exactly the truth. There was one person who Chibi was fond of, a mystery speedrunner who, after they both got drunk, bunked up and made out. I think we mentioned it earlier in the video. Chibi claims he was an alleged victim of this speedrunner, only for multiple other speedrunners to claim otherwise. Chibi would actually visit this mysterious speedrunner, often sober, and proceed to have romantic encounters with this guy. After getting called out and saying that he was completely making up this story, Chibi quickly dropped his claims, even apologizing for it, which is just insane. He was actively making false allegations to multiple people, while the only credible claim was the ones made against him, allegedly. After Chibi's failed attempt to sabotage the name of an old friend just for a few thousand Twitter likes, he knew he had to do something fast, because if any of his new SJW friends were to look at his past, he was basically everything they were standing against. It also didn't help that a speedrunner had just claimed that Chibi, a different speedrunner mind you, made a very aggressive advance towards her. While Chibi was drinking at a SGDQ, another one he manages to do a lot at these GDQ events, in an attempt to either save some face or throw someone under thinking he looked like a hero and his new SJW friends would forgive his past, he brought up old direct messages and videos made by his former best friend, Big Al, who we've talked about earlier in this video. After many years of not thinking about Chibi, Big Al was shocked to learn that his old best friend out of nowhere tried to destroy his reputation. Luckily for Big Al, little to nobody paid Chibi's allegations any mind, but what it did cause for Big Al was to gain a newfound hatred for Chibi. Big Al would begin to unload any information that he had on the Cheapsters, revealing some of the most embarrassing moments in his life. During an interview with Chibi in 2022, Chibi would be surprised by Big Al showing up and confronting him about his comments and their past friendship. At the end of that interview, you can tell that Big Al was emotionally hurt from this situation. A long battle of mental torment juxtaposed to Chibi, who has the same memories as Al, but they mean nothing to him. Al, just like everyone else in Chibi's life, was a means to an end. Hearing the heartlessness in his voice when he says he's going to change goes to show that Chibi never actually intends to do better. He hopes you forget. It's far different than when he's just tweeting it out. You can hear the soullessness actually. And then he'll quickly move on, bury the past, and at the end of the day only manages to turn everyone he knew into his enemies, because at the end of the day, Chibi doesn't care about his friends or family. He cares about himself. Until the day he starts working on his selfish nature instead of small, minute things, Chibi will never change. Chibi will stay the same.
Habits. One last question before the next segment.
All right.
You and Big Al.
Yep, here we
You
go.
and Big Al used to be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
It has been several years since you two have fallen out. Would there be any, and I do mean any, consideration to mending that relationship, or has that bridge been burnt?
So, if it were me, I would say the bridge has probably been burnt. I don't know what his feelings are on me.
We have a special guest. On top of our special guest, we got a 2-for-1 special tonight. Big Al 2K6 is here.
Hey.
So, I'm gonna drop the interview shtick for a moment. I don't know your guys' history. I'm just an outsider here. I'm just a humble host who happens to have the privilege to be the guy to witness this in real time. As far as I know, and as far as you guys know, this may very well be the last time you two will ever speak to each other. I highly advise, if you got something to get off your chest to one another, now's the time.
I hope you're doing okay. I hope life is treating you well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been a long time since we spoke. I mean, a very long time. A lot has happened. A lot of time has passed. And I know you definitely think badly of me, as does most everyone. And I just want to say, I'm sorry. You remember our friend group was, I would say, very hypersexual in some respects. I don't know if you remember John, But
Oh, I remember John.
yeah, he was a pretty prime example of that. Won't go into details. I'm sure you know all about that. But I know I've done a lot of stupid shit, and I have continuously done a lot of stupid shit, and I'm just now getting to the root of a lot of those problems that have faced me for, like I said, decades, that I didn't even realize were issues to begin with. I know you were there when I lost my dad, and I was very, very upset. It was a very dark time in my life when that happened, and it meant a lot for you to be there at the funeral home with me when I was going through that, because I did not know how to process my emotions, and to this day I still have difficulty processing those emotions of grief. And I just wanted to let you know how much that meant.
It's your turn.
Well, I honestly don't have much to say. I don't have much to say about all the, stories, because I wasn't there for them, so I can't really comment on that. But there is one thing I do want to ask Adam, and that is, was he always planning on throwing me under the bus eventually, or did that come after I cut ties with him?
Are you saying me? Like me throwing you under the bus?
Yeah, I see. I'm looking at your fucking twit longer right now.
I know.
Where I'm under the story of a rapist.
I remember the one. At the time that I wrote that, I was really angry. I had a lot of resentment inside of me, and I was trying to find any cause for blame that I could after the things that you said. Basically calling me a pedo, and I was still really upset about that. But what I wrote in that twit longer was wrong. I should never have wrote that about you.
I drove you places. I fed you. I gave you I opened my door for you. I drove you places way out of my way so you can go to job interviews. I was your fucking shoulder to cry on. I was there when your dad died. I'm probably the best friend you'll ever had. I was there when everyone else left.
I didn't acknowledge the good things.
How could you, Adam? After everything I've done for you. And I know I'm not perfect, but goddammit, I was there for you.
I know you were. It's okay, man. Let it out. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate everything that you've done for me, though. And like I said, words cannot describe how much it meant to me that you were there when I was dealing with my father's passing. I'll never forget that. I feel like maybe sometimes I did take advantage of you.
May feel like twisting a knife a bit. So I'm going to apologize beforehand.
Okay.
But this is because of my burning curiosity. Do you feel, as of now, there's any chance of a redemption arc for Adam?
Personally, for me, no.
I can understand that. I understand how he feels. And I won't deny that. Me just throwing him under the bus like that, just because I got mad, because he said something I didn't like. So I figured I had to get back at him. Like, it's just petty. It's petty behavior. It's childish behavior. And I should have thought more about what I was saying. Like, yeah, there were some things that he did that I didn't agree with, but he's not a bad person.
I just poured out 10 years worth of anguish and pain onto you, and you sound like the fucking Clear Eyes guy. Absolutely no emotion, no remorse. So, what the fuck was I to you, Adam?
It doesn't sound like I have remorse in my voice, but I do. And I didn't want to be overly emotional on the call because I'm just trying to keep things as... I don't know. I just didn't want to risk being over emotional and saying something that I shouldn't be saying, because when it comes to me and my emotions, I don't have the best control over them. I know how you feel, and I know the hurt that you feel. I know that I've put you through so much shit. And it's been 10 years. It's been such a long time.
And I was your friend in spite of all that.
You were. Even back then, like, I didn't have the best reputation either. Like, the whole Osaka-con bullshit, like, me being super cringy, that hasn't really changed much.
I'm going to pause real quick because something that the chat is pointing out, and something I would like to point out as well, is that you're now showing emotion after we point it out.
I know. Sorry, I need a minute.
Good luck to you. You're gonna need it. I do hope things change. I'm not holding my breath. I do hope eventually you do find whatever happiness you're looking for. But that's it. You'll get none of it from me.
Thank you guys for watching The Tale of Chibi. It's a frustrating tale of a man who refused to grow and proceeded to drag everyone else down with him. I don't know if Chibi will ever be able to fix himself. The sad truth is, Chibi, for the rest of his existence, will manage to find a way to dig himself into a deeper hole until the day his mom can't or won't help him any longer. And when that happens, the true tragedy of Chibi's story will begin. But until that time, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like. If you haven't, drop a sub. Follow the links down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Despite what people might think about me, or what their impressions of me are, what people have heard, I am not a malicious person. And I know that I'm not a malicious person. I would never intentionally cause harm to anybody. I know my actions have been wrong. I know why they are wrong. And being autistic has somewhat something to do with that, as I do oftentimes fail to read very obvious social cues, and I also have a lot of difficulty socializing with people, which most of my interactions come from being on my phone, which is probably another question we'll get to soon. But it's not just that. I want to be able to fit in with people and make them happy. That's my bottom line. That's basically the one thing that I've always wanted to do.